Hello and welcome to Wishing You Well, the podcast where we slow down, tune in, and take small, meaningful steps towards a healthier, happier life. I'm your host, Maria Patrick, health coach and wellness guide, and today we're talking about something that feels almost indulgent, something many of us were told we outgrew, something we secretly crave, especially around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. We're talking about napping, but not just any napping. Today we're going to dive into the powerful benefits of taking a 20-minute nap, at least 5 days a week, and why this simple habit might be one of the most underrated tools for your physical health, your mental clarity, your emotional balance, and even for your longevity. So if you've ever felt guilty for wanting to stop, drop, and roll right into your bed for a nap, for needing rest, if you ever push through your exhaustion with caffeine or sugar, or if your afternoons feel like a fog that you just can't shake, this episode is your permission slip to rest and the science-backed reasons for doing so consistently. Let's start with the truth that many of us don't want to admit. We are most definitely a chronically sleep-deprived society. Even if you're getting 6 to 7 hours of sleep at night, it doesn't always mean that your body is fully restored. Between stress and screen time, our busy schedules, our overstimulated lives, our hormonal changes, your nervous system is often running in a low-grade state of constant fatigue. And here's what happens when you don't get good rest. Your cortisol stays elevated. Your brain becomes less efficient and sharp. Your mood becomes more reactive. And your body holds on to inflammation, which we just talked about in last week's episode. But here's the beautiful thing. I'm always looking for the beautiful thing. Your body doesn't need a full night's sleep to begin repairing itself. Sometimes all it needs is 20 minutes. There is some science behind this, the science of the 20-minute nap, because the 20-minute nap is often referred to as a power nap, and that's for good reason, because in that short window of time, your body enters the early stages of sleep without getting into deep sleep, and that's important. Deeper naps, longer naps, like 60 to 90 minutes, you've probably experienced this, can leave you feeling groggy or disoriented and maybe even more tired. But a 20-minute nap, that's the sweet spot. Because in just 20 minutes, you can improve your alertness, boost your memory and your learning ability and skills. Your mood can get enhanced, and you can reduce fatigue in even that short period of time. Studies have shown that short naps can improve reaction time and decision making, almost like you're hitting a mental reset button. And when you do this consistently, 5 days a week, you begin to train your body to expect and utilize that reset. Let's talk about your heart. The connection between heart health and longevity is something that we already knew about. But what about the fact that research has shown that people who take regular naps, especially a few times per week, may have a lower risk of cardiovascular disease? Why is that so, you ask? Because napping helps to regulate your blood pressure, your stress hormones, and the inflammation in your body. Think of it this way. Every time you take a nap, you're giving your heart a break from the constant demands of your day. You're shifting from that go, 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 go stress state into a rest and repair mode. And over time, that really matters, especially if you're someone who pushes yourself too hard, juggles multiple responsibilities and many demands, feels like you're mentally on all day, or if you're somebody who experiences chronic stress. A 20-minute nap for you can become not just a luxury, but a protective habit. I'm trained in holistic medicine, so I often like to look at things from a holistic perspective, especially from a mind-body viewpoint or from an Eastern wellness lens. Napping is incredibly powerful for your nervous system. When you lie down and close your eyes, even if you don't fully fall asleep, your body begins to shift into a parasympathetic state. This is your rest and digest mode. When you're in the parasympathetic state of your nervous system, your breathing rate slows, your muscles soften, your digestion improves. That's why it's called rest and digest, and your mind begins to quiet down. It's very similar to what I aim for when I teach Qigong and lead people in meditation. In fact, you can think of a nap as a healing meditation, a passive form of meditating. And when you practice it regularly, it can reduce your anxiety, improve your emotional resilience, and help you regulate mood swings. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed and you notice that everything feels better after you've taken a little rest, that's your nervous system recalibrating. That's what that feels like. So now let's talk about your brain. Your brain is constantly processing information and solving problems and making decisions and filtering the stimulation around you. By the afternoon, your brain is exhausted. It's tired. A 20-minute nap can significantly improve your focus, your creativity, your problem solving, your memory consolidation. These things are especially important if you work in a mentally demanding job, you're learning something new, or you're writing, creating, or teaching. A nap doesn't slow you down. It actually makes you more efficient. And isn't it remarkable that I have observed, as I'm sure you have as well, that over the last 10 or so years, more companies have built nap pods into certain spaces in their workforce, in their office space, because they have realized, probably through the research studies and what analysis has shown, that encouraging their employees to take even a 5, 10, 15, 20-minute break will make them more efficient. Instead of pushing through fatigue and producing low-quality work, you rest and you come back sharper, clearer, and more productive and motivated. Here's something that many people don't realize. Lack of rest directly affects your hormones. When you're tired, ghrelin, which is your hunger hormone, increases. When you're tired, leptin, which is your fullness hormone, decreases. When you're tired, your cortisol rises. So what does that mean? When you're tired, you're going to have more cravings, you're going to want to take in more sugar and carbs, and you're going to end up having less willpower around food. A simple 20-minute nap can help regulate these hormones, which means fewer cravings, better energy, more balanced appetite, and the ability to resist going through the drive-thru or rushing to the vending machines in the afternoon. So if you're trying to improve your nutrition or maintain a healthy weight, rest most definitely has to become part of your plan. So how can you make napping work for you? We want to make this practical and easily implementable. Here's how to create a simple, effective napping routine. You're going to want to aim for early afternoon, sometime between 2 and 3 or 4 p.m. This aligns with your body's natural energy dip. Keep it short. Set a timer if you have to for 20 minutes. Trust that boundary. I assure you that the 20 minutes is the sweet spot. Create a calm space for yourself. Dim the lights, Silence your notifications, even for just that short period of time. Use a blanket or even something as simple as an eye mask. You don't have to fall asleep, so let go of that pressure. Even resting with your eyes closed is beneficial. And you're going to want to be consistent with this. Try, at least aim for 5 days a week. Think of it like a wellness ritual. I want to help you reframe what it means to rest. I want to help you shift the mindset. I hope that your key takeaway from today is that napping is not laziness. It's not being unproductive. It's not something to feel guilty about. It's intelligent self-care. It's preventative health and wellness. It's support for your nervous system. The most high-performing individuals, athletes, corporate executives, even some of the most creative minds in history have used naps to enhance performance. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. It's actually what fuels it. So here's my gentle invitation to you this week. Give yourself permission to rest. Just 20 minutes, 5 days a week. Notice how you feel. Notice your energy, your mood, your clarity. Sometimes the smallest shifts create the biggest transformations. And sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to lie down, close your eyes, and let your body do what it was designed to do: restore. Thank you very much for spending time with me today on Wishing You Well. If you enjoyed this episode, I hope you'll share it with someone who needs a little more rest in their life and perhaps needs permission to take that afternoon nap. Until next time, I'm wishing you rest and balance and beautiful well-being. And you know that, as always, I am here wishing you well.